The Gibson Firebird, originally introduced in 1963, this is the new and improved 2015 model. It boasts a mahogany body as well as a raised midsection, which is reminiscent of a muscle car, a mahogany and walnut neck, and a rosewood fingerboard. We've got ourselves some trapezoid inlays, which are really cool and very classic. And the headstock is, again, another classic Gibson design. With chrome hardware, this Firebird's aesthetic is completed with the massive pickguard and the inlaid Firebird logo. Now, with most Gibson necks, I find that they are a little bit too thick, but this one actually seems to have a pretty good taper for the hand. It's comfortable to play, and it pretty much stays out of my way. The nut is made out of brass, which I have no experience with previously, so this has been quite a treat to just play around with. It feels really natural. It doesn't feel exactly like a regular guitar, I suppose. It's got a different kind of feeling to it, but overall, it doesn't inhibit my playing. For me, the most interesting thing about this guitar is the Steinberger gearless tuners. They're made out of steel, and even so, it kind of lets the guitar get out of tune a little bit here and there if the temperature goes up or down. Obviously, the bridge is a Tonomatic, which I don't really like, but the saddles are made out of titanium, so there's that. All in all, in the 2015 range of Gibsons, this one is the most convincing, meaning to say, well, it wasn't a very good year for Gibson in 2015, and I mean, it's mostly because the prices for many of their guitars shot up like rockets, but this one seemed to stay fairly reasonable, and the guitar is very fun to play.
So now that you've got the spec rundown of the guitar and you've seen the pretty pictures and all of that, let's talk about the tone. The tone of a mahogany guitar with walnut is basically my favorite tone of all time. That explains why I dig this guitar so much. So I'm going to just play some rhythmical stuff and we're going to take it from there. Hope you guys enjoy this video a lot because I really do dig this guitar. Thanks to Matt Perrin, who owns this guitar and who let me borrow it basically. So as you can hear, it can go from country to metal in 0.1 seconds at the end of the day. I'm a fan of the way it sounds, of course. Mahogany and walnut, how can you go wrong with that, guys? Come on, tone. Tone is what it's all about. Now, do I love the gloss neck? Nah, I don't. But so what? That fade is incredible. I'm not sure if camera B is going to pick it up, but it goes from black into a natural gloss, which looks really cool. So there is that aspect. I love the fact that the inlays are massive. I've always been a big fan of that ever since I had a Dean ML. And at the end of the day, I think that the tuners are a little bit, they're all right. This guitar has had fluctuations in temperature a little bit, and the tuning has suffered here and there. But overall, it's keeping it together. I'm actually most impressed by the fact that the saddles here are titanium. That's really cool. When I read that spec out to myself, I was like, well, Gibson's doing something right, because that's pretty damn cool. Anyway, let's move on to the clean channel. Enough of my rabbling. I'm going to go from the bridge to the middle selection to the neck pickup. I'm a really big fan of how natural this thing sounds. I'm a fan of the fact that it's a Gibson that plays really well. A lot of the 2015 Gibsons are heinously overpriced, as I said earlier in the video. But this one seems to stay at a good price, and I like that. That's good. I'm appreciative of that, because it makes it a little bit more in the ballpark for guitar players. Of all the guitars in 2015 that I have heard, right, because I haven't played all of them, I have played a few of them, this one arguably is my favorite, and Matt obviously has a very good choice because he got this guitar and loved it as well. It kind of is a case, baby, right? Got to keep it clean and everything like that. but it has seen quite a bit of love from me. So thank you again to Matt. Moving on now, I'm going to be hitting up the lead channel so you guys can hear what this thing sounds like with lots of smoldering gain. So lots of gain, lots of verb, lots of power. So as you can tell, I have quite a bit of fun. I can get carried away with this guitar. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Does the instrument inspire me? Hell yeah, it does. If I want to write kind of more rock tunes, you know, this isn't exactly a metal guitar, but it has a lot of, well, it has a lot of potential actually. At the end of the day, if you have enough gain, you can make everything pretty metally. And I think for maybe progressive metal, maybe something along the lines of Opeth, this would be a pretty good guitar to track with in the studio. Just because the way that the shape is it's kind of weird, right? But it also vibrates differently. It reminds me of that muscle car kind of vibe, and that's really cool. I like that. So I think if an instrument inspires you, you should go and give it a go anyway. But as for this Gibson Firebird, they went right this time, I think. So I'm gonna play myself out here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and hey, I teach guitar, so if you want to get at me, you gotta get at me fast because my slots are filling up real fast. I know that that sounds kind of like innuendo, but it's not. Get at me at paulos.com/lessons and let's get started so that you can get shreddy. Alright, see you later, YouTube.